Being run were difficult because they were obviously absolutely respect. We're pretty dense again.
Can you stop pulling out the insides? Keep playing. I didn't say stop. I just said stop pulling out the insides. I don't pull out your insides, do you? Do I? Well, actually, there was that one time you had that poop and didn't want to finish. I suppose that counts as pulling out your insides, isn't it?
Why that is they have to explain things. And Kavanaugh just keeps getting struggle so hard to explain. Walk his way on threatening for the DEI type of hire, you know? So not in question. So sure have to takes a full 5-second pause with experience, but he's buzzed lying about speaking to kind of atlas thought to himself. So wow, the thing easily typed. Fox yeah. Meanwhile, fine. Because he never thought it would happen. Trump's America by now. The you're supposed anytime that we would I guess yeah, it is exactly. We would always reference.
Is this drawer?
Jewish, specifically cultures, and inherently.
My goodness, Fox is just how much he sounds focused on minorities are the inherent Jewish to explain would be considered high on a documentary topic of would not thought that he was racist. Logically, humankind. It's like he knows there's but he like can't figure out is he almost feels bad. Followed her documentary about civil rights in America. This is focused on black people. The was clearly pretty there and rock or whatever was protected from situations just like this. Help with the things Trump fighting on paper. You know, dude, political action programs, quote, program across the entire federal government and the private sector. By every job has been like a potluck, this demon. They all paired up. However, worked. Referendum agencies to follow existing continue. That's not even close to what he said. Illegal. Because flagrant violates lawyers and sidekicks, etc. Under intense pressure to make arguable dreams come true. But they're facing pushback from fine, they act. According to the FBI. Doing yes on the side, in which case you don't laced up the door. But if they're on the record as being complicit in some pretty serious crimes. A real rock into a part of it. Because the current of the United States just whatever he feels, whenever he feels like. Deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure by conventions, UN law. When you go on direct to bomb power while he is apparently allowed to say whatever, anyone under him has to try and stay quality. The administration is currently facing over 700 lawsuits. Plaintiffs have won 6 versus the Trump administration. During Trump. Oh, how often sign fires in those elections, making fundamental errors, failing to provide courts with basic fire to prevent Trump's interest in funerals. He's a lawyer. The final prosecutors who thought something thing. Do you remember? This was the so-called broad for his judgment outside of Chicago detention centers. It was so on them to do it. Read the jury decided. So I guess testimony because he implicated the third one finally worked. Prosecutor, any jury member who didn't agree with them. The jury agrees with outside. They tried to cover all this up in the judge we found stunning, if not valid, all the prosecutor. He was directly appointed by Anthony. He really loves telling the Chicago crime type. Bondi. Second, but prosecutor forced it through. This is ongoing. Pass offices, which in turn puts the other pass. Money, but admittedly, in the balance like a X-Men. Trump. These found them. Two, world when he's gone. Go do what I find. Oh. Oh. That show now. Break. And then after that, we'll keep talking. We'll load up that nacho pistol. My cheese gun. mind, it's fine.
Podcast of it and $5,000 a day. It's no wonder. No planning. But since I started, that has off like cracks. Yeah. Meals and groceries in your car and deliver everything every day. And you to your you can check boxes and stuff. Seriously, I'm gonna with my heart. I genuinely Hungry Root is the best meal delivery service that I've ever tried. Gluten free, Mexican, jumbo, shrimp, corn, rice, just we connect for. Hungry Root offers more than 1,000 crafted recipes. Ready and like 5 right out of their number. Anything? $40% off your first order plus box for life of the com/SMN and use code and that's /SMN code and off your first box your choice for the life of the aforementioned
The news is in June. Relentless are they? So relentless. Lyrics about the way to stop. They're so relentless. For one most song this year. God, ABC News is John Carl. They're so relentless. I replied to subscribe from me. A fully legal online. That I could write any one-liner within the cloud, the news spots, but now I pump out enough one-liners to settle down the doom the old spiral. What is the brain? This is so sad. Now called 10. This is the beginning of Pixar's Up. This is so sad. Awesome bone. One more. Happy. Oh. Ah. Older. Go to indecloud.com. Okay. Use code SMN for 30% off your first. Code. Four plus free gift orders. Quick service. So responsibly. So responsible. Welcome back. Chewy. Fine, chewable product. Ads. Talking about how often illegal. Off this long. All suck. Not feeling. Often often too many clothes on. Book example, of course, oh. Trump's former auctioneers dollars for included the elder and while writing a hunted down, I guess, Ossie of White Walk Cowboy. $100 half an event endgame auction. Rome was handed blank check. $220 million funneling one buyer. Might be one eyes. Reduce the coverage. I don't know what. His luck. Because it was his date. Oh. Why she let it go. Roger. You're saying yeah. $120 million running TV. I know. Oh. Hard to by a Republican. How was that? Liberty. That's why Sean Duffy. Oh, first podcast. One thing I decided. Don't expect.
So Director Patel, when should we expect 25 spend plan for the afternoon? Seen it, have you reviewed? When will we get? And then we don't have time. Let's do last week. Understand? And your answer is yeah, you're not going. My answer is that I am following, working with my area. Do this issue, the budget that you have. And you have no timeline? No.
Question about over their head. I made several. Here's one featuring Ben Beck. Collaboration. Ooh. On a rollout. With it. Writing the entire model about how you launch, and then he flip. How would we play? And should not only reflect it, but that was a role. Now, that was 2025. Just doing his best.
In the Epstein files, close the file. Use of the Epstein file. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Awesome.
He hasn't really done correction. Say he's upset.
There's something called the R process, rapid process of neutron capture. It just jam a whole bunch of neutrons into a nucleus. And it turns out This is really the only efficient and effective way to create heavy metals. But the problem is, you're creating a lot of gold, you are creating a lot of everything else. In fact, you're creating much more of everything else. So there you have the limitation. It's more so statistical. It's not that enough gold couldn't exist to create a planet solid gold. It's that by the time you accumulate enough gold into one place, you have accumulated far more of a whole bunch of other stuff. So when you start making that planet, you end up with a ratio of gold that's similar to what we have on Earth. There'd be it was, for example, imagine a planet similar to the Earth, but instead of like all these rocks and all the silicate and carbon you see on the surface, it's just all gold mountains, valleys, and plains. Is that possible? It would happen somewhere, right? The universe, if the universe is infinite, it's practically infinite.
Yeah, it's more. But I'm not sure. Not. Keep trying to. Obvious fact that Trump was better. After everyone saw him get hit by a train, not how Bernie dies in that dies from a force. Anyway, talk about Epstein. Or we are not the obvious. We all think of that some minds of I was playing podcast. Or vote who brings like home. Well, during the photo concept, we post conduct for then everyone in the room found out about it. Like particularly given that can you please I am done. On to the house. Oh, we all are abiding by the same rules. Oh, well, I'm like, I'm right. Boy, all that sticking to truth. Elite. Tired of all hunted. Find fire.
It's actually not something that can happen.
What a what a wet, multicolored cloud.
Hey, what the fuck is you talking about? Hey, what the fuck is you talking about?
Made up. Your back have to commit. How to malfunction. Not the reason. Top stuff. Drinking water. Dude. Yes. I don't. Oh, really, man. What's sex?
Pretty sure you'd have to be born. You have to actually.
Oh no, wait. Pause.
Calls. Congress again. Violent rhetoric. Oh, what got him? Lawyers. rivals.
You
She had
okay?
to run against saw her save,
Are you okay, baby?
which means we can't she acts Jones is a consequence. Jin this Alex Jones at Alex is trouble for all. Alex Jones
Out this time.
showing what how much tougher Alex audience howling dog couldn't shut his mouth. He was saying how the judge aside professional.
So a guy said,
Listen to Alex Jones.
the guy worked and said he didn't know it was North Carolina. They just ran a Alex Merch race. This week, even though black people aren't involved,
Feels like
it's never a problem. For a very good history.
serious.
In the South. Racist South.
Alex Jones.
People.
And that's fascinating.
I let you. I'm sorry. The California college. Understand. That is. That's your racist.
As
Go to the wine store and just end up staring at a whole wall of wine for an hour because you don't know what to buy.
Well, scratch.
Okay, you just call someone
I'll take
and
it
you
off your
say
hands.
no. Fine. You called me. Mine is. And then you just has an interesting kick out of there. Totally. There you go. Sounds overwhelming. Wine, my door, everywhere. I practice my selection that I carry. Tell me all about the kids and what to pair it with. I don't end up screaming or wine.
I was like, who?
Fighting.
And she said, that's why you was not.
Jim Combs.
Okay. Stop settling for wines that don't come with much. Head.com/news to sign up. 2% off your first for TRYIRSEL. Yeah.
when they unconstitutionally did the same kind of shit a bunch of other states violate I mean, it's a little down into the rules is fine. I will tell you.
Especially the bird.
Struck down his mother Joe's fine. Election day was judge. That news bust. Virginia's rules. Constitution. How old is that? I'm saying. Same story. Reporting hundreds of putting their phone on this or enjoy and they've been off unlimited. QR code on your screen. News slide. I do the color thing again. Fun. I didn't.
For starting podcast/business. Nervous wreck. What if it doesn't work out? God, what if I have to meet? All the little I had to do with partner like Shopify on my side. Use the e-commerce platform around the world and 10% all e-commerce. Things like neutral. Let's make building online. And if you get stuck, or some reaching out about scheduling a meeting or a shoot, or setting all for important inventory or website or well, that all you have to log in, email. I'm ready to go. Time to turn 5 today for your $1 Tuesday. Shopify.com/Shopify.com/ at Shopify.com/morning. Lucky.
How insane great wording Dragon Age. Over 1,000 heroes with seemingly infinite force. Kingdom. 100 years. Soldiers of the Imperium. And calling them wardens. Background that allows anyone to fires one.
Otherwise known as
An agonizing death, but those that die become immune to the taint, gaining the ability of the soul. Eyes and can transfer. Use the ritual and to maintain secrecy and to survive. Eventually hear the call. Search for the old gods. After 30 years, Google the call. They travel down the many networks coming to the taint after flying after all years. The great meaning they could command anyone to. The word is generally conflicts, but are known for joining connections to work for the eradicate. Is know that they are generally fighting losing battles, so they use any means necessary to victory. Blood magic, is alive. We all just how insane great weapons are in creation. It is over 1,000 years.
you might also four. Actually, it's something
Synergy. Scary.
lost.
Alavera. Killer Queen. Diane Cook. Track anytime. About our entire million dollars and of that $50 industry, companies on average spend about 20-50% of their revenue on marketing, specifically influencer marketing. It was roughly turned out $20,000. And popular. I was not surprised they You have a minimum. Your average saving your money and putting it towards food.
Oh, actor. They're actor. And she crosses
Find the disaster in this. We put
See how I tell how much sugar. All about the texture, homies. See how thick that is? Like a syrup. The more the texture is like syrup, the higher in sugar it's going to be. Yeah, so technically, the higher. If that helps, homies. Tell how much sugar. All about the texture, homies. Here's how I tell.
On the thing. On the air. He's like,
Well, now hold on a minute. I really want to like this, bro. I just had to make like
realize
this. I
why
had to
they
make
stay
like this.
on.
But you know what?
More and more people.
A brand new
Version of the world. Over there. On the screen. Your reward is
this
no
right here
longer
was
walk
actually
the fine line. He's going to say the
comment.
thing you want to do. Like,
you think
watch it. Oh,
This is happening.
now slow down there.
I'm not
To watch the fall of an empire.
Really on the capitalism. Oligarchy. I'm saying isn't. Is not. The story that they believe that I told. The story about good guys versus bad guys, morally outstanding. Justice around merits. You work hard, you're supposed to. Sense, chin wagging, afford. Now, personally, I'm of the opinion. We've been talking about this years and years. Still living standards. Generally, meanwhile, the power are solid We talked about the system succeeding. And of course, the system was always unsustainable. The deal used to be that you get this exchange for looking the other this by doing that system is no sustainable. Running is no functional extension into a more than a only because then the work say over and we probably choose to transition away from the game their power. They have to create chaos, target consumption, taxation on consumers, small business, operating an environment where suddenly turn each other to shatter, to justify spending sources of what silly countries sexuality, which make them believe that their neighbors are transformed. Now their neighbors and are questioningly most from their suffering, most from the system, the way it is. Their friends, the environment.
Others. Well, I think that's a
This is exactly what's wrong with the gym community. Celebrate the amazing, not the big. Let's go. This is an amazing accomplishment. Keep up the great work. This is exactly what's wrong with the gym community. Celebrate the oh my god, this is an this is exactly celebrate the is it not the bases that actually build it. Let's go, my god. This is exactly what let's go, my god. This is an amazing accomplishment. Great work. This is exactly what's wrong with the gym community. Celebrate the end result nowadays and not actually build it. Let's go, my guy. This is an amazing accomplishment. Keep up the great work.
whatever they want.
This is exactly what's wrong. Celebrate the end result nowadays and not the guy. This is an amazing accomplishment. Keep up the great work.
Nobody else in jail. Else out. Oh, that was .com podcast called
to try and find practical diplomatic waterway.
Mounting problems of the reflecting pool on the National Mall.
You're looking right now is rapidly turning into a $16 million headache for the White House.
Hey, Mama. Not you.
Socialism rot. Our beloved symbol of national freedom.
Pieces of that new coating began peeling off. Phosphate levels fall higher than what is recommended.
A significant algae water into.
Does anyone else smile when they see black people?
Hey, it's really
If I saw people like Jamal Williams when I was younger, it would have been life-changing for me. Because every black car has at least one racist story. Like, you do your first.
Didn't they just have a pool company come in and
be really
fix it? How did it get so?
Those companies, Green Water Services.
Thought about the name. Green Water Services. No company that barely won the full contract. Because of their expertise.
Administration paid a company to do the work and did contract.
The company's owned by a trust owned by Republican donor John Sparrow. Old guy. Anyone normal? Even the pool looks like an extra fries and dolls. Glasgow, that's by a bee. I'm sorry, to be fair. I don't think. Great. We have a recent picture of this guy. Are you kidding me? This is the entrapment. This guy.
Not to be a voter, from now on, just people women with your test.
Political president. Back in
The goal isn't to stop
2001,
attack.
Bafaro pled guilty to conspiracy
You
to
think that's what I'm
bribe
saying?
then Congress James
Less like a
Traficant
budget thing
Jr.
and more like scientific study, which is
Honestly,
I didn't believe this. It's from the
Can't anymore. The guy on the internet said,
Let's
ma'am,
just say.
Yeah.
Well, you're like me when you first heard the reflecting.
I'm not allowed to.
Thought to yourself, well, I hope the president of the United States is pushed.
President Trump says he personally inspected the site.
Oh, good. That's good.
On the
He posted a
internet
picture
said,
of that. Why is he always healing? That's not actually. I don't like about the truth about this. This is an AI generated. And the picture of that person does happen to look. I am I's idea of a person that is old and Donald is personally over a huge of a skinny pool. Who is handling the high stakes intelligence for Ronnie this negotiation?
Guys,
You absolutely can. Full price, absolutely.
Cigar face! Cigar face
She's
was taking care of this.
She found the curse ring. See, madam, curse ring. Show me the ring.
No, I'm going to keep the ring. I don't think it's cursed.
All right.
Show me the ring. I don't think it's cursed, but you won't show me the ring.
I will give you
I'm just saying, that sounds like cursed ring talk.
As we are.
You absolutely can. For full price, absolutely.
Jamie Van is just
Maybe you better play more to say.
cost.
I told you. She's she
that
found
I
a cursed
have
ring.
very, very important people in my life, an Indian and a Pakistani.
See, madam,
Is
cursed
my
ring.
wife,
Show me
and
the ring.
Pakistani is Field Marshal Lanier.
I like them in. Boom! You know what I always say, people? Two browns don't make a white. Hey! Ethnicity! Isn't a rabbi, my wife, and Field Marshal Lanier walk into a bar? Risky move on
Versus
Trump's
expansion
part,
may be
given that
slowing down.
I mentioned these.
Last thing I heard.
Donald was a pastor.
Pope Francis lived in leprechaun and went through so much in his life. 5 minutes for Katie Vance. Set foot inside, I'm out.
Oh my god, I am not interested in your junk lady.
Negotiation meetings seem to get off to an even worse start.
The media claims that Vice President J.D. Vance was snubbed by Qatari officials those weekends in Switzerland. Viral video going around shows Vance standing alone as leaders around him exchanged hugs and greetings.
He's been a quick crying on
Vance really answers the middle school dance for a person. Things just went from more and more exasperating. Teen girls just see that there's a lot to offer to you. Why would they possibly so mad? Oh, he went for the pig! He went for the pig! Oh no, he went for the chair! Oh no! Black and white! 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 Like faux pas! There's a little peeing. Would you find it in your notes? Started Franco pressure war.
What triggered an entire PTSD episode for a child?
No, it doesn't really matter.
a quick crying or I'm
If there's not a lot of wiggle room.
The president said there will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender.
So basically, white flag.
If
Get it
you
signed. Full of orange slices. All the game. All you get piece.
I'd say a lot of posts are Republican. Now they're the ones
slavery and the Democrats
Want to
keep
see
it,
that?
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
No
And I
nuclear
offhandedly
bomb, no
mentioned
nuclear
party
weapon,
switch.
not even close.
And I
I
got
say
told
no
repeatedly that
enrichment.
it never
We
happened.
want it
Party switch
civilian.
never happened. So my challenge
I
is
think
to
it's
go
uncivil.
find
We also want the
a card carrying
uranium destroying
remember the
Iran's
lightning bolt
missile
committee and asked them why
capabilities
they
and their
voted for Kamala
capacity to
Harris. Why are
produce.
they a Democrat? But that's
So
not
no
enough
money
for
will
some people,
exchange
'cause I said
hands
that
in
in
any
the
way, shape,
video,
or
and I got
form.
more comments.
We already know what the deal
Right?
is.
So here we go.
What's the deal?
In 1850, party was in fairness anti-slavery
Have to give us
dominated the
all
North,
their
was considered the
valuable
more
nuclear
liberal
Actually,
and
that's
progressive
valuable. Not a
party.
lot of value,
Advocated for civil
we
rights
like
for
to get it
African
psychologically,
American
but
business
nobody's
and
touching it.
national expansion. The Democratic Party dominated the South and heavily on white side.
We're not
Rights in
actually
favor. Rights. Now, back to what I said.
Take a look at it. It's not cheap. Okay,
Progressive
as
Party
long as
when
Iran
they
doesn't
were
use it for
founded in
enrichment,
1850. During the Great
that's where we
Depression,
actually
early
There's a
1950s,
little hard to you say that other people have it, other states have it, and you're not letting them. This is electricity and things like that. It's always a lose. You have to use a lose on this.
look at it.
You're the no nuclear guy. I want to say it.
1940s, Harry Truman integrated military.
I mean, you know, we all are rich. Yeah,
Sixty
let's not.
four.
The point is, we don't have to be such hard.
Conservative white
It's
Democrats.
really the main reason why we're there.
Conservative.
The conventional ballistic missiles, which we'll be talking about,
There was something called
I
Southern
support them, and they have to have
Strategy
some, because other people have some. Sure, you shouldn't let them have any missile. Can't put them one way to do it, but they're gonna let Arabia have sleep, but they can't have them. Yes, sir. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Started turning those
You know
traditional
that? We know it doesn't work that way. Why are you acting like we're the assholes? Like we were the assholes who were like, no missiles, no nuclear. You're like, you gotta be reasonable. We're just backing you up. Now you're telling us, use your heads, people. I mean, they gotta have missiles. You never know when something pulls an asshole is gonna start bombing them out of nowhere. They're gonna have whatever. Fine, let them have fucking missiles. At least no money's changing hands.
As for money, the U.S. pledges to help create a $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran.
Allowing Iran immediately to start selling its oil that could earn Iran $70 billion per year. Also in this agreement, the unfreezing of Iranian assets could be upwards of $100 billion.
Pipeline industry. Clear stop. Iran is a circumstance. Now, wait. I don't know if it. They just have where you just see the penis's eyes. This is what we're giving the Iranians. I don't understand why the Iranians are snubbing JD. They should be kissing his booger ring. What does America get for all these?
It was a very progress.
Yeah. Get him, Joan Didion Vance. Project. Go get him, old Mountain Dew Vance. Do you come through? What did you get?
Iranians have agreed. That's a major milestone.
Oh yeah, that's a big milestone. Had nuclear inspectors on since you started bombing them last year. Iran inspectors in there after the JCPOA that Obama negotiated and left when we attacked Iran. Curiosity, did we tear up the Obama with Iran again?
Horrible, a nuclear, horrible, stupid deal.
We give $150, we get.
Deal allowed Iran to continue enriching uranium that also fails to address the regime's development of ballistic missiles. Who would make a deal? Worst deal I've ever seen, the worst deal ever negotiated of any kind.
At the time, the theory is color consent. We could instead go with them. Well, hope you learned your lesson, Iran. Plenty more concessions where that came from. Off again. All right, but that's fine. Rest of it. Can you inspectors will be starting right away?
In terms of when the nuclear inspectors, funny, we were trying to call some of the inspectors last morning as in the morning.
Is that fun? In a war for 4 months and no one thought to call the nuclear 2 a.m. last night? Before sight. Honestly, have you ever wondered who buys luggage in an airport? Oh, did we forget something? Oh, you know what? Walking through the airport just carrying my arms. Oh, the nuclear in the morning? Are we getting anything in exchange for letting Iran have like $500 billion?
Any frozen, unfrozen money would actually go to buy American, employ American for the benefit.
It is a classic Trump with grandiose ambition and state that shit was all along. And finally, named the bed after Trump. Yes, folks, we went to war with Iran to our crops. Win-win. How did no one else figure this out? Free.
I think one big difference, Phil, is that we have a whereas the
adding all over the
making their own a little more than the Florida's getting taken over by this week for the World Cup. Little Havana into an international street party. Also, I was happy to see an all-white without the juice. I'm not sure about the bagpipes. Monster is back. Sleep. The reason I'm so elusive is because I don't hear those damn bagpipes. I've been Trump said. Washington, D.C. reflecting pool.
Yeah.
Pool turn bright green. It's totally normal. The first breakout hit of the summer.
Tourists are actually flocking to the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool to catch
It looks kind of like disgusting. Like it looks like green. Like it looks like vomit. I had to see for myself. Even
Kids, remember you wanted to go to Disneyland? Instead, we're gonna go see the world's largest kombucha. Everybody's complaining about the pool, but they're coming out to see it. I'm not saying it's pretty popular. This is how far America has fallen. Many people. Rights. People were like, we must. Years later, we're like a slimy pool. I gotta see it. Who's ever owned a fish tank or log that they never wash will not be surprised. A pool like this with a dark hard to keep clean. That because half follow on social media. This is a completely thinks
The 300-foot split. So probably a box cutter or a knife. Right? They could very violent with the floor. And they lifted it. They can't help it if somebody with a knife and starts. I would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it.
Who would think of that 2 months ago?
This will last for at least 50 years, so you'll never have a leak. It's very strong. You couldn't, if you had a knife, I don't want to give anybody ideas. If you had a knife, you can't even cut it.
I've never seen someone have a line of logic so burst in themselves. Me from before had the idea to told myself it couldn't be done. I'll admit right now, I'm one of Trump's biggest haters. The Donnie. Wow, you have got to chill. People are not. Can't be that hard to get rid of. I mean, damn, you got one of the biggest algae eaters in your cabinet. Send him down to the pool. He'll be like, "Ooh." Point is, don't go around escalating.
This morning, the National Guard and Park Police patrolling the reflecting pool in the National Mall.
There are cameras stationed every 50 yards or so.
The president had Marine One do a flyover around the reflecting pool.
17 police reports have been filed. Arrests.
Dang, you treat the pool like Epstein drowned in it. Imagine what Iran must be thinking right now. On the TV like, where are the Americans plotting to send their force? Thinking about us? If Trump's disappointed, to be the best in the history of water.
President Obama, President Biden spent $100 million on. You know what they got out of it? Clothes, like I'm doing the super jet. It's going to be something very special. I think very reflective, very good. Beautiful color, beautiful everything. You could never get anything like that. It's going to look better than it did in 1922 when it was built. The Lincoln Memorial. Look at that. Look at how that reflects. It's like a mirror.
Problem right there. You talked it up so much, you jinxed it. Now I want to let him build the ballroom. Just turns out. Disintegrates at the first. Lesson here is Trump. You gotta wait after you do something. If you had never made a big deal out of the pool, no one would have noticed. RK would. To him, that's yummy. But Trump basically shot a buzzer beater game winner, turned around and celebrated, and then instead of the end, it missed and killed a baby duckling. Now you got people in the country coming over to gawk at the fact that reflecting pool into a Kool-Aid bucket. And all your support for your economic disaster.
This is Trump syndrome at its finest. The far left will never get behind or celebrate anything that Donald Trump does.
Newsflash, algae grows in...
Trump is trying to make DC nicer. Presidents should care about beauty.
Only the Democrats could unifying.
They're rooting. Sorry, this is not. What is going on with Sean Hannity's face? I have never seen that big that rapped about. I make fun. Love it. Yeah. Great for America to host the game, since recently our staff's been working from a global superpower to monkey who got loose at the zoo and has a knife. World Cup, people are discussing good things. Also, our content.
Soccer fans are falling in love with ranch dressing. Cup has led to a sudden sauce craze.
TSA issuing a warning, posting on social media, quote, visiting for a very long sporting event and you happen to discover ranch while you're here, please pack it in your check on the way home.
On TSA, do you really need to be so blow up a plane with a bottle of ranch? The bathroom, maybe. The plane. By the way, I a bottle of face wash in that photo. Oh, there's some bodega owner who's like, Sarah Bay, it's a different flavor of ranch. That valuable is just ranch. Make it at home. Do mix. It's ranch. But let's move on to today's top story and our ongoing coverage in Decision. Last night was election night in America. Again, we were in a middle school gymnasium. Hopefully, every election, winners and losers, came out on top last night. Wasn't even on the
Democratic Socialist Laura Mamdani winning records this morning. Re-endorsement, 3 victories. Candidates he backed won their House primary races.
The king of New York City politics right now is Mayor Mamdani. He's the kingmaker and he's in charge.
Was making kings? That's crazy. A capitalist hospital everybody could afford. All right, Mamdani, all your last night. Last, preach to the people.
We are showing there is a new path for politics in our city and in our country.
That woman scream? Can we play that again? That doesn't even sound like an election night scream. It sounded like hitting the drop at the top. Now that she's got that out of her system, let's hear Zoran's.
We are showing that last June, a year ago tomorrow, was not an anomaly.
Murder, but that's ringing up the window. Obviously, Republicans are mad about Mamdani's. Democrats are pretty insane because they're in your party. Moron, you need to watch out. You know what happened? Ever you want. One person on his property.
Trump posted this on Truth Social. Mayor Ronnie pulled through 3. Solid communism has received loud, universal applause from the fake news media. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. I went 16-0 last night, helping to elect wonderful American patriots, and the media doesn't say. 2 years, he says, my endorsement 259. Throw media attention, fake news.
Trump sounds like someone at a birthday trying to remind people his birthday. Like, hey, happy birthday, Margaret. Looks like we're both Geminis, huh? Yeah, technically, I've been longer, so you kind of stole it. But nobody talks about that. And Donald Trump, because he is not wrong about his surprise victory. Upstate.
Thank you, President Trump.
Businessman and sticker mule CEO Anthony riding a President Donald Trump endorsement to victory.
Okay. So doesn't sound like a real job. You went on a date and said, I'm the president of bouncy balls. You'd be like, sounds like we're splitting. Who is this guy?
I'm endorsed by President Trump because I fought for him. I want to decrease. Don't like the solar scam. I hate seeing these solar panels all over our farmland upstate. It bothers me because they're ugly out.
Uncle's Facebook life. All the things that Constantino hates fool you. One thing I know about him is that he likes being funny and having fun. I know this because he told me.
I like being funny. I like making people laugh. I like having fun. If you're not having fun in life, what else matters?
Why does he look? Why does he look like he's about to read off what my grandma left in her will? Like, funny, but today's not about me. It's about Eunice Marie Johnson. A wonderful. Like the words he's saying are, I like to have fun. But tone is saying, I sat with my car and felt nothing. But here's the other reason I know he's a fun guy.
Constantino recorded a hip-hop album titled Thank You, President Trump.
I made a 10-song patriotic album to persuade all Americans to be more patriotic in the world as we see it, using the power of music.
Alright, as black people, I know we had our fun, but I think we let rap go. It's over now. We lost it. Wrong though. How great Donald Trump is. Trump's nemesis.
From here, he's in Uganda. The worst, most violent countries on the planet. Whatever happens, never forget.
Okay. Guys got it. And by it, I mean a learning disability. So I don't know if you heard that, but Uganda did 9/11. Uganda barely got 7/11. Love to isolate of a song to trash and artists. Give him another
Cuomo, you too. You caused this. We remember the bullshit you did during COVID. That's why you lost the primary. Eric Adams, by the way, you too.
Gets so bad he forgot he was supposed to be rapping. Like, talk anymore. The guy on the corner going, and another thing. level of talent endorsements from.
I'm very impressed with him. He is exactly the person we need in politics. This is what I talk about, that people like this get involved in politics.
Why are you looking up? Not where the camera is or Giuliani. Trying to endorse you, but you're making him look like he's a dad trying to convince him to take you. No. You don't understand. He's a good boy, all right? He doesn't do well in class, but he makes the kids laugh. He didn't mean to hurt that girl. He had just never seen curly hair before. You might be wondering, how could Donald Trump endorse a dude that doesn't look like he's allowed in pet stores? This guy isn't anywhere near as bad.
Paxton has been accused of bribery, self-dealing. He's reported him to the FBI, accusing him of bribery and abuse of office to help a friend and political donor.
Impeached by the Republican-controlled House on multiple charges of abuse of office.
For his efforts election.
Creating against whistleblowers.
2 counts of securities fraud, claimed 3 homes as his primary residence.
Slept around with a married mother of 7.
Adultery find his wife. Of course, last year. Biblical grounds? I've never heard that before. Imagine showing up to your divorce with a Bible. He committed all the sin. They're like, whatever thou shalt not, he did. Guy is garbage. So tell him that Trump likes.
I love President Trump. Every time I'm around him, I'm happy.
It's a weird way to describe your relationship. Did you cheat on your wife with Trump? He doesn't care about. I endorse over Trump. Trying over, even though Matt owe him to get a butter through a straw and see what I can do for you. The difference between these two. Looking for 2 different things. One looks for this in his
Politics is big money and small ideas. Healthcare more affordable and making it more affordable for a city you can afford.
The other looks for this.
People like me, I like them.
It's not really a formula. I guess it's a formula this guy can understand. About Trump or Mamdani, it's very clear that they are controlling the vibe of their party. Voters are eager to see.
The big news, the Knicks are in the finals, baby! Yeah, the Guts to win. I said the Knicks are in the finals, and without touching it, the script went. As of this morning, he's up to 14. goes to 7. Played all these. At some point in his NBA. Damn it, I need good news. I need. Somewhere there, it's just.
Artists originally announced as performers now dropping out, many citing political concerns.
Commodores, Martina McBride, Morris Day and The Time, rapper Young MC, and Poison frontman Michaels.
Just be. I feel you. Just like you're as young as you feel, MC. He's the new 40 MC. They didn't want to be a part of Donald Trump's personal and political concert. Anyone still report?
America is turning 2-2. I'm super honored to do this concert with everybody. We're gonna bring back the 90s.
Oh, see, everybody dropped down, but I feel no problem. Okay. You should. Honesty. Like, wait, artist who they are not bailing is CNC Music Factory. Devastated.
I'm gonna make this pretty 60-year-old unleash on you motherfuckers. I'm sitting on the corner taking this shit.
We can certainly come back and discuss this later, but look, you know, let's not focus on where he's making the video or his Miss and Peter fanfic shirt, cottage core wallpaper. Message.
They'll let you motherfuckers tell me what to do with the day.
Love this country.
I don't give a fuck about 250 years of motherfucking capitalism and debt.
Love was too strong a word. Life, freedom. You do the show celebrating capitalism.
You keep pushing me. I'll do the motherfucking show in North Korea, pissing on a fucking American flag, smoking a Cuban cigar, drinking Venezuelan wine, off the motherfucking Kim Il-jung with an Iranian bitch on my lap. Trump standing there with in his hand.
Everybody dance. Kim Il-jung. The Mexican Kim Jong-un. He might be my favorite person. But if you thought Williams ranting about a murderous nation and our president with his in his hand is the weirdest thing. How this concert is together.
According to CNN, quote, the concert lineup was heavily tilted toward legacy acts. Many of them share the same bookie agent and Jeff Epstein of Universal Attractions.
Jeff Epstein of the Universal Attractions is in charge of me recruiting Donald Trump party. That's what you're telling me. Planning our country's 250th birthday. Somebody had to go into Donald Trump's office and say, I know just the guy. Years of being, not that Epstein. He finally, oh, come on. Then the axe collapsed. We thought he was going to get his happy end. His,
Notice, double whammy. The same Chief Justice who shielded Donald Trump from criminal prosecution in 2024 given him a belated birthday gift. Hard to fire almost anyone in the executive cause. Almost anyone. The only exception is the Federal Reserve, the agency that serves as the bedrock of the American happens to affect the justices' retirement portfolios. The message is clear. John Roberts and his supermajority believe it's lawful for Trump to mess with any part of the government he wants to, as long as he doesn't touch them. And the reason they give for the Federal Reserve being special of all other agencies is, to paraphrase, just vibes. Vibes. I predicted this, me. I wrote about this right here. Now the job is complete. The court took another big step in its ongoing turbocharging of presidential power, holding that the president may remove FTC commissioners at will, not just for the reasons Congress and the FTC Act. Those restrictions are now unconstitutional. This is the court was Trump versus Slaughter in March 2005. Trump commissioner was Slaughter without cause. The law said FTC commissioners could be fired for inefficiency, malfeasance, and the statute is by necessity. Otherwise, any incoming president can lawfully punish the government and replace independent administrators with loyalists and partisan hacks. We have plenty of those these days. The slaughter was lawful anyway. The slaughter decision may be a win for the Trump administration, but it's a huge loss for the public and Congress. Ruling cements the president's control over parts of the government that function as a check on presidential powers. The practical effect is straightforward. Agencies that Congress designed now answer much more directly to the president. And that gives this president and every future president far more control over who runs them, as former Commissioner Slaughter herself commented. Today's ruling makes it possible for presidents to fire watchdogs who won't put politics over principle and replace them with law. In short, the term independent agency is now an oxymoron. It's a thing of the past. Today, they don't exist. As reasons, the Federal Reserve gets preferential treatment. Same day the court decided Slaughter, it also decided Trump versus Cook. There, it went the other way. The president does not have the constitutional authority to fire the Reserve Governor without cause. Specifically, the court held that Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, who was fired by Trump via social media post last alleged mortgage fraud, or that later, can remain in her job while she disputes Trump's allegations against her. The independence of the Federal Reserve remains intact. Now, if you're making payments on private student loans, it should ring alarm bells. The Trump administration has long expressed their intention to destroy the Department of Education and the protections it offers to borrowers. So if your private student loans are in default or you're struggling with payments, the portion of the video, why refi is a refinancing solution to get you back on your feet. What makes why refi stand out to us? Really student loan borrower friendly. Monthly payments are month unheard of. Minimum FICO score required, bad credit will never qualify you. They even offer a skip payments for a reason. Cosigner for student loans, refi can help with that too through their cosigner release program. Always talk to a real human and you know. Refinancing with YRE could save you thousands to $10,000 over the course of your loan repayment. Give you the invaluable peace of mind, fixed low monthly payment. First scan to refi today. See you. Now let's look at the individual firings that gave rise to these two landmark decisions within the context of Trump's relentless workforce. His first day back in office, part of a scorched earth firing rampant. I don't know how he likes to say, you fire, fire. Same thing, but in government. The misguided assumption that Article 2 free reign to anyone wants, Trump has attempted to reshape the federal workforce. Top to bottom, he fired the Librarian of Congress, Carter. He fired Assistant U.S. Comey, who says the only reason she was let go is that former FBI Director James Comey, he fired more than a dozen inspectors general. He fired almost every Democratic on the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and other boards. Our NLRB member Gwen. He fired Office of Special. He fired the chair of the Federal Election Commission. thousands of public, nearly all. These victims also include the tens of thousands of civil service agencies such as the U.S. Forest Service, the Department of the Interior, and the National Park Service, created by Trump in what has since become known as the Valentine's Day Massacre. Among the casualties in this sweeping assault on independent agencies, we have Rebecca Slaughter and Lee. No, a lot of these officials fighting their termination are women, black, or both. That should give you a clue as to whom Trump prioritizes and is. Since 2018, appointed by Trump, Slaughter had been a commissioner with the FBI body to regulate economic competition. To protect the agency from political influence, Congress placed restrictions on the selection and tenure of FBI, including a requirement that they only remove for inefficiency or malpractice. But in March of 2025, out of the blue, Slaughter received an email containing stating, "I to inform you that you have been removed from the federal media. Your continued service to the FTC is inconsistent with. Accordingly, I am removing you from office pursuant to my authority under Article 2 of the Constitution." Did the message efficiency in the duty or malfeasance of office was a clear violation of the FTC. On the other hand, Lisa Cook was appointed to the Federal Reserve Board of Governors in 2022. In turn, expire in 2038. Was the first American woman to serve the Reserve Board. August 20, 2025, Federal Housing Finance Agency. Another, the same guy who now runs the nation's top intelligence agency, on social media a letter to Pam Bondi, accusing Cook of mortgage fraud, specifically faulty claim that Cook falsified documents and records back in 2021, claiming two different homes as her primary residence at the same time. 3 minutes later, Trump posted to Truth Social, "Cook must resign now." Days later, Trump told reporters that Cook did was he would fire her if she doesn't resign. 3 days later, on August 25, 2025, Trump claimed to fire Cook for cause. In a letter to Cook, Trump stated that he had reason to believe that she may have made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements. American people must be able to have full confidence in the honesty of the members and trusted with setting policy. Criminal conduct not, and I do not have such their integrity. For you, Trump himself appears to have done the exact same thing decades ago. According to ProPublica in 1993, he declared two different primary residences on his own mortgage documents. In Cook's case, he concluded that faithfully executing the law requires your immediate removal from office. This was the first time preserves 111-year history. Attempted to fire one of its. This attempted firing of Cook was sort of a trial run for his attempt to fire the top guy at the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, all because Powell wouldn't lower interest. Arbitrarily lowering interest rates can arguably boost the economy in the short term, disaster down the line. That's why presidents are not permitted by law to set policy. Does that independently. Even Jeanine Pirro, who is very well known to this channel, got on the Powell train. Was laughed out of court for trying to prosecute. Let's go back to FTC Commissioner Slaughter. After president removal, Slaughter sued the president and other officials. Argument had no legal authority to act, and doing so violated both federal law and the Constitution. The district court in Washington agreed, ordering Trump administration to reinstate her and finding Slaughter's termination unlawful. The district court relied on the FTC's false removal protection. The 91-year-old landmark decision that upheld these protections. Humphrey's executive states. Humphrey's executive decision held that Franklin Delano Roosevelt's attempt to fire an FTC ideological disagreement was unlawful. It permitted Congress to insulate certain agency exercise quasi-legislative or quasi-judicial functions, purely executive ones. The FTC, as a body created by Congress to carry into effect policies and other specified duties as a legislature. Can any proper sense be characterized as an arm or an eye? Or put it bluntly, these substantive questions in this case seem patently obvious. In other words, the court was bound by Humphrey and the precedent for 90 years. or cause language to slaughter. Issue without cause was unlawful and issued an injunction barring interference with slaughter. Existing law that slaughter could continue in her job at the Supreme Court on the docket allowed Trump to fire Slaughter for the legality of removal protection. He was on the wall. The other day, 6-3 ruling written by Chief Roberts, the Supreme Court overruled Humphrey's executive and upheld Slaughter's. Roberts Court held that the FTC Act's 4-clause removal protection violate the Constitution of powers, unity of nearly a century of precedent. Congress, this marks a huge win for advocates of the so-called unity. This thing that the society really loves. He holds that Article 2 of the Constitution, all executive power in the president, that the president has absolute control over the end, including on federal. So, in upholding the termination, John Roberts maintained that Article 2 of the Constitution, executive power, that the laws be faithfully executed. Oh, well and good, but Roberts said that the framers wanted one person in charge of the executive branch. One below him, presumably the people who sweep the floors at the White House, this to help him to do his job. Officers were movable by him. Power to remove at will was a corollary of the that the president be able to remove those who fail to live up to their duties, or to live up to this principle. And is exercise the executive function of removal. Mind you, it gives the president his subordinate, saying he also has the power. It's an made up power that Roberts and other conservatives claim or did in Slaughter. In the landmark decision of Myers versus United States, in which the Supreme Court deemed requiring to remove postmen in the Myers the affirmation of Chief Justice Taft. He was charged to take care that the laws be faithfully executed. The reasonable implication was that his executive power, he must be able to remove those for whom he can continue to be responsible. Roberts acknowledged that in Humphrey's executor for cause protected the act at issue in Roberts' criticism of Humphrey's executor, it was circumscribed, very limited, neither political nor executive, permanently judicial. Point, Roberts. All that is left is its observation that an agency that part of the executive power need not fall within the rule of the president. A lot of words to say that Roberts just doesn't fully rejecting putting that in contrast, that version of the exercise power. We see in its present form that ministers facet of our nation's economy. Think about that line about the nation's economy when you talk about Robertson's exception. The FTC further investigates businesses and clients through the FTC files civil suits on behalf of the court, a power Roberts very core of executive power. Because the FTC exercises power, Slaughter serves subordinate at the FTC. Sure. One thing that's a little maddening is that Rebecca Slaughter commissioner is not the whole the power of the entire in the minority. Included that our Constitution creates 3 branches. Duties, he must have the assistance of officers who exercise the power are subject to rule by him. accountable to the president, to the people. Like, two, try to be a little bonkers. But to no one. Voters won't punish them. Even not for the elections. So you can literally bring the whole government to a halt if you wanted. Voters have no power to hold them to it. I really think is that fiction. The liberal justices, Sonia Sotomayor reading the summary of her dissent from the bench. She was pretty upset about the case. Deep down, I wanted to limit Kagan. Sotomayor. Tell me how you really feel about it. You are warned that there's clearly envisioned the existence of agencies whose independence will be safeguarded to the people. So my yard further explained that the majority will reshape the of independent commission agencies. Power over broad swaths of life in the president's hands. Oh, you're warned that Robert's ruling is a future of the civil service. Hundreds of thousands of employees who, in some way or another, all exercise an executive power on the behalf. Their jobs have been. See a bunch of wrongly fired civil servants, like Maureen Comey and scores of agents and judges, are challenging their terminations right now because they are covered in civil service protections. These protections are unconstitutional. They stand in the way of the president. John Roberts doesn't say. After the Slaughter ruling was issued, Trump took to Truth Social to celebrate the occasion. Big win just moments ago at the Supreme Court in the Slaughter case. Determined presidential power. Move executive branch officer. This decision was long sought by United States presidents back to the 1930s. It is such an honor to be the sitting president who won this historic and most important ever presidential power. Thank you for your attention. I have a lot more I want to say about this, but let's just say my thoughts are not always exact by YouTube standards. The whole segment of this video, because the only way to watch it is the video. Nebula is a streaming service where you can watch any video we make. Tons of videos from hundreds of your every video we make contains additional legal analysis and tutorials that you can only watch on. We put a lot of thought into that. Always nice to see. And if you use my link or code, you can get 50% off and a year's worth of the best. You can get 40% off. Once for free. It really is the best deal. The way, or scan now. Slaughter, Federal Reserve Governor, did not take her Truth Social. She filed suit against the president, the Federal Reserve Board, and the chairman of the board in Washington. The federal judge there granted a preliminary injunction requiring the Fed Cook to remain in office. The litigation continued that Cook was likely to either her claim that the president removed her loss as required by the Federal Reserve Act. The district court also found that Cook's termination violated her process. She did not have notice and an opportunity of the DC Circuit denied the government's request to the injunction and agreeing that Cook was likely to succeed on her claim. The government then applied to the Supreme Court for like Slaughter, the court didn't issue a shadow docket order last fall greenlighting Cook's termination. Because, importantly here, in the case on the docket, Cook created this entirely made-up FedEx executive. Oh, really? It's in Trump versus Wilcox, which allowed Trump to fire the first black chairwoman of the National Labor Relations Board, or said, quote, a uniquely structured quasi-entity that follows in the historical tradition banks of the United States. Nobody knows where that came from. Others who studied it concluded that that language is bunk. In a 5-4 opinion authored by Chief Words again, the court held that Cook can stay in office while her challenge to her Protection of the Federal Reserve is a radical departure from how the court has handled executive in the Slaughter case. Trump and executive in his leeway to carry beyond his